This is Ray.
This is Andy.
And this is FDS Local Sports.
How's it going, Ray?
Andy.
Yes.
Football in New Brunswick is back.
It is back, and it's exciting. Big weekend. We had some terrible weather, but we had some football.
We had some football. And you know what? I have to, before we even get started in the football, local sports for us heading into this year, we talked, we went back and forth on it a couple times because putting together the stats for this show, Andy, it's not easy week after week, trying to find out what happened in games across the province that we haven't been to. And two coaches, Neil Grant from St. Stephen, he really grabbed the reins and asked us if we would do it again this year and sent an email out to all the coaches. So big shout out to Neil Grant for getting us back doing these local sports because we love talking football.
100%. And we'll, the games that we get information about, we're going to talk about. And the games that we don't, we'll throw them in there. We'll
tell you the scores.
We'll have our content on our website, and that's that. We're just going to let these shows become what they're going to be.
The other thing we're going to do this year is we have 3 characters that do high school predictions for us every week on our website.
Yep.
I don't know who these 3 guys are. I know they're friends of Denny Dweron's.
That's all I know.
Denny Dweron, our inside writer. They're good buddies of his. We have no idea who their identities are, but it's Pistol Pete, Mr. Freeze, and Coach Zen.
Coach Zen.
They give their predictions on all the games, and we're going to recap as we're talking about these games, how these guys picked those games, and we'll tell you their records at the end of each week.
Absolutely. They were unbelievable last year in terms of accuracy, though I think they were a little nervous about this year with the new formats and this and that, but we'll see how they do.
We'll see how they did. Let's get talking. There are 3 divisions in high school football now, Andy. We have the 12-man AAA league, okay, which was your 12-man league last year.
Yep.
Then you have 12-man AA. So these are the, some of the schools that played 10-man ball last year, they're now playing 12-man ball.
The stronger 10-man teams last year with the larger schools.
Yeah. And then we have 9-man football. And the reason why they went 12, 12, and 9 is that makes it more consistent with what's going on nationally with football across Canada.
I had no idea how rare 10-man football really was.
It was.
Yeah.
We were the only province that was having, or one of the only provinces that was having 10-man football, and we still have 10-man football with the Maritime Football League and your Moncton Mustangs.
10-man 4-down football.
10-man 4-down.
Might be the only league in the universe
yes.
with that setup. So,
all right, let's talk some 12-man AA football. And the first game we're going to talk about is Matthew Martin, came into town and they were taking on the Harrison Tremble Trojans.
There we go.
Okay. And this game didn't go Matthew Martin's way. Tremble wins this game 37-0, Andy.
Okay.
But I've been advised, Kalen Gosling, he plays safety for the Matador.
Matador,
yeah. He caused an early fumble, and he had an interception as Harrison Tremble was knocking on the doorstep for a score. Coach Long, he advised me that they're looking to improve in fundamentals and keep focused for the next week's game.
Excellent. Ball hawk back there is and I assume the comfort zone is involved in the coaching
Dan
staff.
Comfort is involved in the coaching staff again. So look, it's just he was a little slow out of the gates with the Mustangs this year, so he's gonna get there with the Matador too. He's gonna get them going.
He's got this.
He's got it. Now, just so you know, Pistol Pete, Mr. Freeze, Coach Zen all picked Harrison Tremble in this game. We don't have any stats for Harrison Tremble for you folks because we didn't get any. Next game, we got KV. Kennebecasis Valley High School was in town from St. John to take on Bernice McNaughton High School.
Yep.
Andy, what a tight game this was. 9-3 for Bernice McNaughton.
Wow.
Bernice McNaughton wins this one. KV had a total of 250 yards of offense led by Gabe Richards, who had 5 catches for 65 yards. Bernice McNaughton had 193 yards on the ground. Javon Johnson runs in for a touchdown, and Aiden McKenzie also had a 15-yard field goal. The only one to pick this game correctly was Mr. Freeze.
Got a boy, Mr. Freeze.
That's it.
Yep.
All right.
There you go. Early lead.
Odyssey.
Yep.
They were taking on St. Malachy's in St. John. and Odyssey wins this game 34-0. Okay? I didn't get any stats for the game. I hear Devin Niles is playing quarterback again, and he'd be in his senior year, I believe. So watch out for Odyssey this year. They could be very competitive in this game. And again, out of our experts, the only one to pick this game correct is Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze is off to a big start.
Next game, Andy, we got Simons High School taking on Ormukto in a very good game. And the Ormukto Blues comes out on top of this one, 22-6. Mm-hmm. The storyline here, though, Cam Hayward, he had a 22-yard touchdown reception. And on defense, he plays offense and defense. He stripped the ball for a 25-yard defensive touchdown as well.
Excellent.
So, Cam, big game for him.
Big game.
Jaden Woodworth also chipped in with 38 yards rushing touchdown as well. And out of our local experts, all three had the Ormukto Blues to win this game.
Okay.
Yep. All right, next game. And this, Andy, this is a shocker.
This was a shocker.
This one's a shocker.
I had to look at this one 3-4 times. I wasn't sure.
St. Stephen's Spartans were in Fredericton taking on the St. Anne Casters. I can't believe I'm reading this number.
Yep.
58-0 for the Casters Nation.
Casters Nation.
Copyrighted by First Time Sports Podcast.
That's right.
But these Tremblay brothers, we talked about these Tremblay brothers last year.
Yeah.
These two brothers are the real deal, Andy.
Yeah.
Sam Tremblay threw for 5 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. His brother Caleb had 4 of those receptions for touchdowns. Their defense had 3 takeaways plus a safety, and then 3 other kids, Henry Mason, Sam Shepard, and Caden Coughlin, they also had touchdowns for the Casters too.
Yeah.
Casters are the real deal in this double-man football league.
Yeah, these Tremblay brothers are just out there playing catch from the sounds of it. And to be honest with you, Ray, an excellent performance from the Les Castors is not at all surprising. But what was really surprising was the performance on the other side. We don't have many details on what's going on here, but we have to assume that St. Stephen's must have lost a lot of senior players. Something must be going on, because I would have expected the team last year. They were a very strong team. So that was the part that we were shocked about, but we don't know the story there. So we hope to hear from the coach, get some details on that or something, but they must be a very young team now.
Well, listen, St. Stephen's always run that T-wing offense.
Yep. And
they played in the 10-man ball. It's a big adjustment.
Yeah, it is
going from 10-man to 12-man. Blocking, how you're going to run.
More defenders to figure out. Yeah.
More guys on the line. You got to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of changes to go from 10-man to 12-man ball. So hang on, Spartan fans down in St. Stephen. Your team's Coach Neil Grant's going to figure this out.
Oh, yeah.
The guy's from Sackville, right?
Yeah.
He's going to figure out this and watch out for the St. Stephen to bounce back from this.
All right,
Andy. We only have one game left because the games between Harborview and Rothsay and Hampton and Sussex, they were canceled due to the storm that came in on Saturday and rocked everybody's world here. The last game, and they played at noon up in the Miramichi. They said, hurricane, no problem.
Yeah, they just pushed it an hour early,
We
basically.
got this. We played at noon. Guys from Moncton, I believe, had to travel up to officiate this game. But, Andy, walk us through what happened between James M. Hill and Miramichi Valley High School.
Yeah, I got the lowdown from Coach Peary and Coach Moore. I believe Chappie was one of the guys that had to travel up to Miramichi for that one. They really love sending him on that assignment, don't they? Up to the river. But Chappie, Newcastle Pizza Delight, it's where you got to go. It's an excuse for you to go in there each time.
You got to get there.
Congratulations to Coach Rich Peary on a huge game. Let me tell you, I was so excited to hear this. MVHS takes this one in a real tight game. Fireworks right down to the end. They win this one 16-14. Right, it was 8-8 at the half, and MVHS scored again. They went for 2 on both their touchdowns, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And then the Tommies late in the game scored a touchdown. They had to go for 2 to tie it up. MVHS defense held. 16-14. The Pulemu get a big win.
Wow.
They're in first place in this division. There's no taking that away right now. Big congratulations to both teams on this one and both coaches. I'm in a group chat with the two of them. They're really good buddies. So I got to experience how they dealt with this outcome. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
I have to tell you, as an official, as a fan, I love football in the Miramichi.
Oh, yeah.
I love football in the Miramichi. Bathurst, you're next. I'd love to see football up that way as well.
Yeah, I'll give you a few stats here. Oh, and just so you know, I believe both teams in the Miramichi are still playing on the field over in MVHS. However, Coach Moore has confirmed for me the Tommies are getting their own football field.
Nice.
They will have their home field. And by the way, there was a little bit of a mix-up with the schedule early on, and it wasn't just us who released this, Denny DeWeron's predictions that released this, but even the official schedule called this the River Bowl. This was not the River Bowl.
This was not the River Bowl.
This was just a teaser of that. This was game one of the regular season.
This was the Hurricane Bowl.
You got it, Hurricane Bowl. Alex Wickham and Pierce Sweeney. I believe these guys are basically kind of a dual-headed quarterback attack, I think. I'm not really sure. They both scored on the ground, and Caleb Howe got both 2-point conversions in, which is why they ended up winning this game. But the Tommies have some stars on their team. Will Woods, he had a rushing touchdown. He had about 100 yards on the ground, and he had about a dozen tackles, too. You talked about the players that play both sides. Listen, Miramichi, not two big schools to field these teams. Lots of guys play both offense and defense. And Drew Duplessis had a rushing touchdown and a 2-point convert. And Andrew Savoy, probably Savoy. He probably says Savoy because he's from Miramichi, but it could be Savoy. And Sean Donahue were tackling machines. They each had about a dozen tackles apiece. So a hard-fought game. Nothing makes me happier that there is football in the Miramichi now, but to take that up a notch, competitive football in the Miramichi. It's not one-sided anymore. There's two teams, and they're equal. This 9-man division is going to be excellent for
I love it. It's great for football. Great for football. Andy, before we get out of here, let's just give everybody an update on what's going on in AUS. Right now, we are week 3 of the season, and Acadia is 2-0 because they had a bye. SMU is also 2-0. St. FX is 1-2. Bishops is 1-2.
Yep.
And Mount A is 0-2.
On the road this weekend.
They should be 1-1, Andy.
They should definitely be 1-1.
But their last game they played against SMU,
that was SMU.
They had an opportunity to win that game. They were in the lead with that game. And on a play that was about 3rd and 24, somebody off the end with Mount A went in, hit the kicker, giving SMU a first down, and when they went downfield, kicked a field goal to win the game.
There was no excuse for it. They were punting into the wind. They shouldn't have sent anybody at the kicker.
Nobody should have even been in the backfield.
No, and again, we're assuming that the Mounties would have been able to get at least a first down to run this thing out, but we'll never know, really. But a bonehead move like that to eliminate your opportunity to win, especially when you were behind the whole game and you rallied. Listen, I'm wearing my Miramichi gear because I'm a Miramichi guy, but as you know, I'm also a Mount A guy. So I was there at the game. You were on the field. It was your 50th birthday, I believe. And
49.
And yeah, so we saw it. It was a heartbreaker. Mounties are on the road to face Bishops, and Bishops has a win. So they are certainly not a team to be taken for granted.
Nope, not this year.
The Mounties need to have their ducks in a row if they want to get a win.
This Friday night, 7 p.m. on AUS television, you can catch Acadia at SMU. That's going to be a battle for first place. That's going to be a really good game. I happen to be in that game. And on Saturday, like you mentioned, Mount A is taking on Bishops at 2 o'clock our time.
There we go.
There you go. And Andy, just to recap before we get out of here, we've talked about Pistol Pete. We've talked about Mr. Freeze and Coach Zen. Let me just tell you their week 1 results. Mr. Freeze is in the lead at 4-1, followed up by Pistol Pete at 3-2, and Coach Zen is following behind 2-3.
Awesome.
There you go, guys. That's local sports for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit like, share, comment.
All that stuff.
Get this video around so other students know it's taking place.
All right. Have a good weekend, guys. Shout out to Newcastle, the Newcastle Pizza Delight, our unofficial sponsor of this podcast.
There you go. Sandy J.